Welcome back to the inner room. This is not a space for performance. This is the space where we slow down long enough to examine the heart before we even speak to the world. Now, today, I want to talk about something that feels increasingly difficult in our culture: having necessary conversations without living in fear of being hated, rejected, or labeled. Because right now, honest conversation feels risky, not because truth has disappeared, but because respect has. And if you look around at the current moment we're living in, it's hard to miss how quickly public discourse has deteriorated. Even moments meant to bring people together, like the Super Bowl, becomes cultural battlegrounds. Leadership moments that should model restraint instead models contempt. Recently, we watched public disrespect directed towards the Obama family, shared casually and defended dismissively, and brushed off without accountability. And regardless of where you fall politically, the issue isn't party, it's posture. And when leaders speak without restraint, the culture learns that restraint is optional. When disrespect is excused, it becomes permission. Now, what happens at the top never really stays at the top. It filters down. It filters down into families, into friendships, into workspaces, into churches. People stop trusting conversation because conversation feels dangerous. People stop asking questions because curiosity is punished. People stop speaking honestly because the cost feels too high. And the result is not peace. Silence is not neutral. Silence becomes resentment. Resentment becomes distance. Distance becomes division. Somewhere along the way, we were handed a false choice. Either speak loudly and aggressively, or stay quiet and safe. Either dominate the conversation, or disappear from it. But those are not the only options. Courage does not require cruelty. Honesty does not require hostility. And conviction does not require contempt. The loudest voice in the room is rarely the wisest. Real courage looks quieter than we actually expect. It looks like choosing your words carefully instead of impulsively. It looks like addressing an issue without attacking a person. It looks like saying, I may be wrong, but I need to speak honestly. And instead of, I don't care who this offends, because the goal of the necessary conversation is not to win. It's not to embarrass. It's not to score points. The goal is understanding, even if agreement never comes. Let's talk honestly about the fear that keeps most people silent. The fear of being hated. The fear of being misunderstood. The fear of being reduced to a label based on one sentence, one post, one moment. But here's the hard truth we need to accept. If we speak honestly, someone will not like it. That does not mean you're wrong. Being disliked is not the same as being unethical. Being challenged is not the same as being attacked. And sometimes resistance shows up not because your words are harmful, but because they require reflection. And reflection is uncomfortable. When we let fear dictate our voice, we don't stay neutral. We slowly lose integrity. We start editing ourselves until we no longer recognize our own convictions. We say things we don't believe just to stay accepted. Or we say nothing at all to avoid tension. But peace built on silence is fragile. It only lasts until the pressure builds again. And eventually, what goes unspoken does come out sideways. Respect has been mislabeled as weakness, but respect is strength under control. Respect says, I care enough about truth to deliver it in a way you can actually hear. You can say something hard without being harsh. You can confront without humiliating. You can disagree without dehumanizing. If the truth you're speaking cannot survive kindness, it's not as strong as you think. From a faith perspective, this work always begins internally. The scripture tells us that what comes out of the mouth flows from what's in the heart. So before we continue the culture, we have to confront ourselves. Why am I speaking? Is it to heal or is it to feel superior? Is it to clarify or to control? Am I willing to listen as much as I want to be heard? God is not impressed by our volume. He's concerned with our posture. And when the heart is aligned, words carry authority without aggression. Leadership, whether political, spiritual, or personal, comes with responsibility. Words shape norms. Tone sets permission. And when leaders abandon restraint, they teach others to do the same. We don't need more loud voices. We need more grounded ones. More people willing to say, this matters, and how we talk about it matters too. So here's the challenge for this week, y'all. Have the conversation you've been avoiding, but do it differently. Speak with courage, not contempt. Listen without preparing your rebuttal. Say what you need to be said without trying to wound. And let go of the need to be universally liked. Because integrity is more important than approval. We don't heal division by pretending differences don't exist. We heal it by facing them with maturity. Growth doesn't come from outrage. Healing doesn't come from avoidance. It starts here, in that inner room. Starts in your heart. I'll see y'all next time.